Welcome to Spirit Talks, because your spirit talks to you.
Hello and welcome to Spirit Talks. I'm Susie Beiler.
And I'm Maximilliam Haver.
Today's Spirit Talk topic is meditation.
Thanks for joining us and enjoy.
Max, I think you have a good definition of meditation that you can share with us.
So meditation, as far as I understand it, is the use of subtle, conscious effort to achieve some benefit or achieve a state of being.
If it's subtle, why do some people try so hard?
Well, the thing is that subtle, conscious effort is distinct from thinking or reasoning, in that the intention is exerted with a subtle exertion, and it's not so much about trying to make it happen with your mind.
Now, when you said exertion, what our listeners didn't see was that you put your hand close to your heart and you moved your hand kind of outward away from your heart, which indicates to me that perhaps meditation is something that comes from your heart.
Well, yes, there's all the different parts. There's the body, the mind, the heart, and the energy body, that are working in conjunction in meditation.
Sure.
And so that's why in meditation there's a lot of different practices, a lot of different approaches to it. There's different body positions that people practice. Some people do meditation laying down or sitting upright or in a chair, or some people do meditation standing or walking out in nature. So these are all different approaches of the body, different ways for the body to be while meditating. And it's the mind's part to subtly direct it. So just sitting somewhere and sleeping isn't that you're not doing anything different than your normal sleep cycle, right? So that's not being active and present with it, with that intention and that mental consciousness, giving it that subtle direction, but not being overly engaged. And then, of course, the emotional or heart energy of it is engaging with the feelings, the sensations, any intuitive energies that come through during this time of stillness, and you can set forth an intention in that stillness to bring forth certain things. So you could connect with your heart's wisdom, your inner guidance. You can connect with healing energies. There's a lot of different intentions you can do while in this space with the intention of meditating. Or gaining clarity on a situation, or these sorts of things. And then there's the energy field part of it, where you can use your intention to flow life energy with your breath while in meditation. So these are all considered different ways and types of meditating. Usually it starts with stilling the mind and releasing tension from the body. These are usually the first parts of meditation, as these are sometimes things that impede any intentions that you'd set forth in meditation, so you want to clear those first. So there's a lot of different methods that people use for stilling the mind, such as focusing on the breath and being in a comfortable position so they're not distracted by physical sensations, and a still space so there's not noise, and just those sorts of things. Do you have any other things that are related to meditation that you want to mention?
Well, when I first started, I had to have movement as part of it because my mind was way busy. And there was no way that I was going to sit still and get into a meditative state. It just wasn't happening. So what really worked for me was getting out into nature and moving the body, and then really focusing on my breath as I did that. And then gradually, I was able to calm my mind down a lot more. I would really like people to be gentle with themselves in this process. I hear so many people say, I try meditation and it just doesn't work, and my mind is just too busy, and I can't calm my mind, and all these things. And, that's okay. like, this is all part of it. When you first sit down and try to do this, your mind is going to be like so loud and so many things are, going to be flying through your mind, and you might think this is not even possible. But what you'll find over time with that committed effort is that eventually you just kind of learn to accept that your mind wants to be busy, and when you give it that permission, then magically it starts to slow down a little and give you space to get into that meditative state.
Good. So, what purpose do you believe meditation serves along a person's path or journey?
I believe it is a powerful space to access when you want to heal yourself, when you want to find clarity within yourself, when you want to gain a closer relationship with yourself and your I am presence or your higher self, when you want to gain a closer relationship with Source. That is all accessed through the heart. And when the mind, when the activity of the mind is louder than the activity of the heart, it's super challenging to get those messages, whether it's from your own heart or from Source. So I believe meditation really assists us in getting clarity and connecting with that greater life that is beyond ourselves.
So it's one of the main tools to assist us on our journey.
Absolutely. And keep in mind, as you said, that there are so many different ways to meditate. And you don't have to put yourself in a box just because someone teaches it a certain way. If that way doesn't work for you, find another way. There's a lot out there. Yeah.
I've even heard of methods of excessively working the mind until it gets exhausted, and then the mind gets still. So I've heard some very unique approaches out there.
Hey, whatever works.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that really worked well for me was putting my focus on my breath. Because physiologically, what happens when you're breathing from your belly is it calms your body down. This includes your mind. And so not only are you shifting yourself physiologically, but you're giving that space for your mind to relax. Because you're not allowing those busy thoughts, because you're so focused on your breath. And when you start to notice your mind wander, you come back to your breath. And then 2 seconds later, you notice your mind's wandering again, so you come back to your breath. And when you keep refocusing your attention on your breath, then gradually you begin to relax and go deeper into a meditative state.
So is the goal to be able to retain this state for more of your waking time, so that you're more conscious in life?
Absolutely. I used to say to my mentor, I'd have this conversation with him like, why is it that people sit down and meditate? Like, I want every moment in my life to be a meditation. I want to be a living, breathing, walking meditation. So that was my intention. So I do believe that is kind of the whole point, is that eventually it's like a switch you can turn on and you just have it always turned on.
So a type of mastery of the body and mind, and allowing the intuitive energies to come through and be aware and present in your experience.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I was sharing with you earlier that I love to play with words. And so I just invite our listeners to just think about this for a little bit, that the words meditation and medication are only one letter apart. And so if you are trying to get off medication, try meditation. It's only one letter difference, so it can't be that hard, right? I'm being a little snarky, but there is a lot of power that your body has to heal itself. And when you put yourself in that calmer, more relaxed state, your body can do its self-healing work much more efficiently.
And with that, I shall share a story about my first experiences with meditation.
Nice.
I made it a New Year's resolution to try meditation and got in touch with a friend, and he taught me my first meditation, which was relaxing the muscles of the body. And this was a guided meditation with audio, and I think there was some sort of metronome going along with it. And it was to assist me in getting into a space of letting go of the body, really releasing every sensation in the body. And in that space, I actually, after about a few weeks of practice, actually got to a space where I felt like liquid inside my body.
Wow.
And when this happened, it actually healed a back injury that I had had for a year and a half. And I no longer had to wear a back brace. And so it was quite sudden healing of the body once you let go of the body and allow it to process what it needs to process and release and heal. So it can do pretty amazing stuff if you can allow and release and get into that space of healing.
That's what I'm talking about. I like that you mentioned that the meditation was guided, because that's another tool that people can try. If you just sit down and you try to meditate and it's not working, it might be helpful to try a guided meditation where there's someone's voice guiding you through the meditation. Or I'll plug my sound healing CD because it's a meditation. There's sound and frequencies that assist you to drop into a meditative state. So it can be very beneficial to try something that's a bit guided so that you're not kind of on your own.
Yeah, there's probably thousands of guided meditations on YouTube, all with different intentions to connect with guides or heal or energize chakras or any sort of myriad of intentions in these meditative states. So they're widely available, and you can start with what resonates with you most or what you're wanting to explore.
Now let's talk about safety and meditation. I know a lot of people leave their bodies when they meditate. And I had personal experiences where I've gone into a meditative state and didn't want to come back because it felt so much better there than in my waking life. So, is it safe to meditate?
I would say you're connecting with your greater aspects, so it would feel nice. So the question is, why wouldn't you continue the meditation all the time? Perhaps that's more the question.
Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess it depends on your philosophy of what you're trying to achieve in these meditations and on your path. So.
And I've known people that go into meditation and become very ungrounded because they go into this higher frequency state and then they have trouble bringing that energy back. It's my belief that one of the reasons we go into meditation in the first place is to access those higher frequencies so that we can then bring them back into this reality and integrate them. And so I like to go into it with that intention to be a bridge and to bring those frequencies back in an integrated way. And we talked, I think, in the out-of-body experiences episode about the silver cord. And so it can be a helpful tool to use before you start your meditation to ground yourself with that silver cord that's connected to your body always and connected to Gaia or the earth.
Well, and as you said, it's intention. You can use an entire meditation where the whole intention is grounding, and that can be the entire effect.
That's
so
true.
It's a very adaptable tool, and it just depends what you're intending.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Any final thoughts that you'd like to share?
I would definitely suggest meditation for anyone and everyone on their path, and at least to find one type or method that works for them, even if it is one they make up. just so that they're connecting more with themselves and being conscious and aware and active with those aspects of themselves. So, however that may look for you, and you can just search types of meditations online and you can find a few hundred for sure.
There's so much out there.
Yeah, very, very useful tool, and lots of ancient and modern knowledge all around these different ideas. So.
Yeah, so just start somewhere, try different things until you find something that resonates with you, and watch what shows up in your life and how you shift and change and grow.
And like a very common theme around meditation is the breath. So if you're not sure where to start, that would probably be the most basic and best place to start, is just being present with your breath, feeling the tactile sensation of the breath going in and out of the body, and just staying with that. And at first it may be a short duration and you might get fidgety, but just to practice with that, and as you extend the duration you can be with it, you can explore many different directions with intentions while in that space.
That's the other thing. Sometimes people try to start meditating and they think they need to do it for an hour. Maybe 2 minutes is all you need. Like set a goal that's reasonable, when you're first starting out.
Well, 5 seconds,
And
then you work up to 10 seconds, and so
exactly.
Yeah, it's like working out. You work out that meditation muscle.
That's right. Well, I want to give you one last final tool. Is when you are working with your breath. It is really important in order to physiologically change your state, to breathe from your core. That means breathing from your belly. So what you can do is imagine that you are filling your belly with air, just as if you were filling a balloon. And when you exhale, what you want to do is push out all the air, pull your belly button in towards the back of your spine. And if you have trouble getting a deep breath in, then focus on your exhale first. Empty your lungs completely, empty your diaphragm completely, just push out all the air from your body, and then you'll notice that the inhalation will flow in with greater ease. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
May you find peace and stillness and clarity in your meditations and fulfill your intentions with much efficiency.